pop, go to Weasel, cause the Weasel say, pop, yeah, come.
Yeah. Half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel.
A friend in need is a pest.
You're gonna be a successful WWF villain hated by millions.
They shot me at the amphitheater in Chicago. And the finish was, it was Doc Winkle against Vern Gagne. Vern was the champion. Some sort of finish, I'm outside. Nick picks up Vern, slams him, covers him. The referee counts 1, 2. On 2, Vern puts his foot over the ropes to break the count. The referee doesn't see it naturally. Yeah. Goes 1, 2, 3. Bang, the people think new champion. Yeah. I think new champion. Nick and I jump up, we hug each other. I'm on the apron, he's in the ring. Referee sees the foot now, he says continue. We don't see that. Referee says continue. Vern drop kicks Nick in the back, into me. I go to the floor. Nick lands on his back. Vern covers Nick. 1, 2, 3. That's it. But when I jumped up, I heard these pops. Like pop, pop. And in those days, everybody used to break cups. Remember that? Yeah. People would pop cups. And there were always guys fighting there. They had horse fights in the back. We'd get on each other's shoulders and fight each other. And with bullets and stuff. Damnest thing you ever seen. And so I just thought it was somebody fighting. So we go back to the dressing room, and Ray Stevens is waiting at the doorway, and we walk in. He said, "You guys all right?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "They just brought in 5 people who were shot." And when we go home, we call it going home. Gosh, I said, "Nick, you ready to go home?" Yeah, so then we started to walk back, and we didn't really have police in those days. We had hand-trained ushers. And there was no heat. I mean, nobody was doing anything. Everything was real quiet. And that's what happened. And we got back, and there was a woman laying on a table, and she had a bullet hole in her shoulder. And one guy had it in his arm, and one in the neck, and one was shot in the thumb. But it only shot like twice, but it went through these people. Oh my God. But it never made it to the ringside. It just made it to the people in the ringside, never to the ring. And when they interviewed the guy the next day, and his kid was deafened by that. Because this man, when I jumped up in the apron, he was an African-American, about 250 pounds, and I had a fur coat on. And when I jumped up, he said, "I'll get him down." And he put his hand on the kid's shoulder. Oh. And fired down. Oh, God. And it deafened the kid. Oh. But no one, and the guy used to come to the matches after that, but no one would say he did it or testify, so they couldn't arrest him. So they had 2 cops they had hired as plainclothes detectives. A guy named Ed Carmody and a guy named Duke Glove Davis. Huh. And these were 2 bad-ass cops in Chicago that went in and shot up Hanson and Clark, the 2 Black Panthers in Chicago. Yeah. And they found 175 bullet holes in the wall. So they must have, had one gun. So they were bad guys. I remember when they bring a guy back for doing something wrong. Guy hit me with a ball-peen hammer when I come out of the ring. They bring him back to the dressing room. They held him up against the wall. They said, "Go ahead, Bobby." I went from here to the door, took off running. Just as I got there to punch the guy, Dusty Rhodes kicked him in the balls. And the guy fell, and I hit the wall. And I told the cop, I said, "Get him out of here before he kills me." I said, "I haven't even touched the guy yet. My hands broke, my head's bleeding, so I lay on the table, and they sewed me up. But when Duke would talk to you, he'd say, "You know you shouldn't have done that." And he'd put the gloves on while he talked to you. And just kept putting them on. Then he finally get them on, brutality. And that's how they did things in those days. Wow. But it was a while in Chicago after I wouldn't be involved in any finishes or anything. I was really concerned.
So you wouldn't come to the...
I would come to the ring, but I wouldn't be involved. I wouldn't trick anybody. I wouldn't jump up. I was just there. And that scared me for a while.
God.
But the guy never did nothing after that.
I mean, he wasn't arrested for it, you said?
No, no one would testify he did. No one would say that's the guy who did it. But see, people say, "I think it's that guy." So they used to sit around him at the matches. But he never did nothing after that. Maybe they had the wrong guy, but... There was Wally.
Oh, Wally Karbo. I met him, oh, God. A couple of years before he died, I really got to know him.
Italian on Fridley. I know. Wally was the best wire in the world. I used to tell him, you have to hire a guy to call your dog. Your dog don't believe you. I called him one day. I said, Wally, I haven't been paid in a month. He said, oh, pal. He said pal to you was over. Oh, pal. You know, he had the Minneapolis, the Den Deers.
Yeah.
He said, oh, pal, I'm on the phone with Eddie Graham down in Miami, which had nothing to do with the AWA.
Yeah.
And he said, Eddie's got an outdoor show tonight, and it's raining like hell. And he hung up on me. So it had nothing to do with what I said. I just paid $5 now for a call and got a weather forecast to a place I'm not going to. And that's the way Wally would tell you things. I asked what time, Brown had AWA had a private plane they bought. I asked Wally one day, I said, what time does the plane leave from Flying Cloud Airport? He said, ask the pilot when you get there. Give you answers like that. It made no sense. What time do I have to be there? And he would tell you to go have an interview, but not mention any specific date or stuff. I don't know why, but then he always say, go have an interview, but don't say nothing. That was Wally.
Wow.
Was that Winnipeg?
Yeah, Winnipeg Free Press.
Yeah.
I guess the dog finds this.
I got a call from Wally that night. The next day. I was coming out the doors and some fan had spit at me. And I don't mind a guy taking a shot at me, but I don't like to be spit on in the face. And this guy spit in my face. And he had held in his mouth for a while because it was like a cup of water. And the cops grabbed him. And as he spit, I noticed he only had a couple teeth that left. So I figured let's take them all. So I hit him in the mouth and knocked his teeth out. Wally calls me next day. He said, oh, there's going to be trouble, pal. Did you hit a guy last night? I said, yeah. Oh, God. Where were the cops? I said, they were holding him. Wally hung up. Oh, no. There was a Babyface once in Chicago with Bruiser as his partner against the Chain Gang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was the only times. But he wouldn't keep me at the Babyface because he had no one else to beat up and throw around. I told him, I said, you beat Nick one more time, you get to keep him.
To put the word in the streets.